September 1864. The Civil War had been raging on for more than 3 years, and now, after a long and bloody spring, the Union Army sets its sights on the Confederate capital of Richmond, Virginia. Since May of 1864, General Ulysses S. Grant's Army of the Potomac has slowly maneuvered against General Robert E. Lee's Army of Northern Virginia in a series of strategic campaigns meant to overtake and control the Confederate state of Virginia. As the humid summer days gave way to the briskness of autumn, only one thing stood between the Union Army and the road to Richmond: Chaffin'S farm. Although Chaffin'S farm had no garrison, it was guarded by 100 heavy artillerists and had an entrenched force of 2,875 Confederate soldiers. In the ensuing battle, known as the Battle of Chaffin'S Farm or the Battle of New Market Heights, African American soldiers would demonstrate extraordinary feats of valor in their campaign for freedom. As dawn broke in the morning on September 29, 1864, Union troops, including several black regiments, crossed the James River and surprised the Confederate troops at Chaffin'S Farm. The first wave of attack consisted of 683 African American soldiers, led by men armed with axes to clear away the timber barricades. The Confederates peppered the Union soldiers with volley after volley of gunfire, and the fighting was fierce. At approximately 6 a.m., African American soldiers launched a second attack, and by 7 a.m. the battlefield belonged to the Union Army. Although a tactical victory for the Union, 1,302 black soldiers were killed or wounded during the battle. Tales of African American bravery at Chaffin'S Farm were well documented by reporters, fellow Union soldiers, and even some Confederate troops. Corporal Miles James of the Company B in the 36th Regiment, after having his arm badly mutilated and then amputated, loaded and discharged his weapon with his remaining hand as he urged his men forward. Private James Gardner from Company I, also in the 36th Regiment, bravely rushed in advance of the brigade, but was shot and then bayoneted by a Confederate soldier. War correspondent Thomas Morris Chester reported that not only had African American troops driven the Confederates from the field of battle, they had also, quote, wiped out effectually the imputation against the fighting qualities of the colored troops. The New York Herald wrote that, quote, colored troops were emphatically the heroes of New Market Heights. Indeed, some historians considered the Battle of Chaffin'S Farm and New Market Heights as the defining moment in African American military history. In recognition of individual acts of bravery at Chaffin'S Farm, 14 African American soldiers received the United States' highest military award, the Medal of Honor. In a public statement a month after the battle, Major General Benjamin F. Butler, who commanded the battle at Chaffin'S Farm, declared, "The colored soldiers, by coolness, steadiness, and determined courage and dash, have silenced every cavil of the doubters of their soldierly capacity, and drawn tokens of admiration from their enemies." Additionally, Butler strongly believed that many more African American soldiers should have been recognized and honored for their bravery, courage, and sacrifice during the war. In response to what Butler perceived as a slight by the U.S. government, he commissioned a special medal to honor African American troops who fought during the Battle of Chaffin'S Farm and New Market Heights. Officially known as the Army of the James Medal, Butler commissioned Anthony C. Paquette as designer and arranged for Tiffany's in New York City to manufacture the medals. The silver medals bear the Latin inscription meaning "Freedom will be theirs by the sword." The reverse shows a laurel wreath enclosing the words "Campaign before Richmond" and the dedication "Distinguished for Courage." Suspended by a red, white, and blue ribbon, the medal also depicts 2 black soldiers storming an earthworks fort. Although never officially sanctioned by the federal government, General Butler nonetheless distributed the medals to approximately 200 soldiers who participated in the battle under his command. 26-year-old Gilbert Harris was one of the men who received the Butler Medal for his bravery on the battlefield in Virginia. Born into slavery in North Carolina, Harris would later write, "I was born in Edgecombe County, North Carolina. My father's name was James Sharp, and he was a slave to my master. My mother's name was Elvay Sharp, and she belonged to the same folk. I got my name from my last master, Henry Harris, of Pitt County, North Carolina. I can't give you the year of my birth positively, but I think it was 1840. On Christmas Eve, 1863, Harris escaped the bonds of slavery and enlisted in the 2nd U.S. Colored Cavalry. During the Battle of Chaffin'S Farm, a Minnie ball shattered one of his thighs, and Harris would carry a limp for the rest of his life. A decade after the fierce fighting at Chaffin'S Farm, Benjamin Butler, now a congressman from Massachusetts, took to the floor of the U.S. Congress to recall the bravery of African American soldiers who fought under his command. There, he said, in a space not wider than the clerk's desk and 300 yards long, lay the dead bodies of my colored comrades who had laid down their lives to uphold a flag and its honor as a willing sacrifice. I swore a solemn oath to defend the rights of men who had given their blood for me and my country that day and their race forever. And God helping me, I will keep that oath. Reviewing the list of the 14 African American soldiers who earned the Congressional Medal of Honor for their role in the battle, General Butler simply said, "Better soldiers never shouldered a musket."
I think we have a misunderstanding. We think we're runaways. We didn't run away from our master. You know what we did? We killed him. We killed him. We killed him.
All right, fellas, it's no easy.
Now, here's what's gonna happen, Cracker. He's gonna cut that man loose. And he right here, he's gonna put a ball in your damn brain. If you move an inch, if you move an inch.
Documented and verified, no allegories. Tutamami, tattoo, or rutta, sussex, compensatory. I'm the spirit of justice up in your ears, man. Once I enter your mind, I use a feared man. I'm advocating for counter violence that's real, man. Straight, no chase to your soul, this you gon' feel, man. Ain't no shucking, skinning, grinning, that's real, man. I work these hands to the bones, register, feel hands. Cold mind, cold soul, I'm frostbitten. Ain't no Christ in my life, my prayers all vengeance. Fear boss and his dog, little sisters, hush puppies. Sister poison them, hush puppies, now hush puppies. Conjure hoodoo and voodoo, JGH study, buddy. Swamp butchers, maroon hitters, we cut it, buddy. Guerrilla warriors, machete toters, we cut it, cut it. Musket ball to his dome, waxy a rutta sussy.
And then one thing they don't want the rumor to get out. Now this slave is always grumpy. Always complaining about everything. Don't like nothing. Don't like the food, don't like the plantation. Can't stand the master. Can't stand the master.
Documented and verified, no allegories. Tutamami, tattoo, or rutta, sussex, compensatory. No more glory when Jed clamp it, control the story. Libation pouring for freedom fighters who battle for it. Emancipation ain't given, man, it's always taken. Henry Highland Garnett's guard, no hesitation. Nova Scotia, Maroon Riders in Haiti's nation. Black natives and slaves escape to battle stations. Harriet Tubman, black spies and devil agents. Mary Bowser, Susie Taylor, amazing graces. Abraham Taylor, super soldier for liberation. Octavius Cato, never known for capitulation. I'm gonna tell it, black survival and dedication. Emancipated and hated, managed to save this nation. Yeah, I said it. Go research all this information. Ambitious black independence, keep JG motivated.
Playing that banjo and kicking up his heels and think he's in heaven. He's in heaven. That's the one we want to keep. A grumpy slave might slip up behind you any dark night with an axe.